And we're recording, and the music is playing. Your headphones are right there.
Hey, we're back.
Another episode, dude.
We up.
Episode 4. It's kind of exciting, actually. Let's think about it.
Progress, every time we just get a little bit better every day. Day by day, we get better and better. Till we can't be B. Won't be B. I don't know if you ever had that little chant back in high school in football. We'd be singing that, or I guess not singing it, we'd be chanting it before games.
Yeah, we had a chant, but I don't remember any of them. High school was a thing of the past, dude. Like,
It was a blur.
it's a blur.
You're too high every day. You don't remember any of it.
No, I just didn't like high school. I also was an asshole. I was like a different person. I was a very, very different person. More so than I am now. It's my sad life. It is what it is.
I was honestly hoping that was crickets. I fucked up. Anyways, so episode 4. How's your week going?
Dude, sleep has been pretty hard these last couple days. 2 days ago, I fed Camilo at like 12:30, and then he didn't finish his feeding and go back to sleep till about like 2. And then once he fell asleep, I couldn't go to sleep, so I was up till like 5, and then I finally fell asleep, but I had to wake up because I had an MRI. And It was just, last night was very similar in that manner. Just no sleep.
I get that. I haven't been sleeping much. Obviously, 2 different reasons, but I definitely get the no sleep going on right now. It's hitting hard lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of bleeds into some of the stuff we're going to talk about. Today's going to be some peaks and valleys, or how you said it, or highs and lows of the week. So we'll kind of touch on that.
Some people say like thorns and roses.
Sounds like a
I don't know.
podcast.
Yeah. Sounds like a podcast for sure. It's something Sylvia watches. But I definitely find it interesting because it's like another one of those rant moments. It's like, tell us something good and something bad,
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's get into it. This is the Daddish Podcast. I'm Justin.
I'm Reggie.
All right, let's go. So the first main topic we're going to talk about today is going to be the job market. It's going to be job hunting and just the atmosphere of today's, system. Jobs, looking for jobs, applying to jobs, and everything that goes into that. Cool?
Yeah. And you're experiencing it full hand right
100%.
now.
We kind of touched on that the last episode where left a company for 10 years. So I'm in the market. It's kind of funny. People have the little banners on LinkedIn that says open to work. And you'll look for a job on LinkedIn. And when you see it, it says posted 2 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 8 hours ago. And it says 100 plus applicants. And you're like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah. And everybody's applying, and everybody wants those high caliber jobs, high paying jobs. And there's just not enough to go around.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to our schooling, right? Like, it's like you get a bachelor's, but it almost feels like
that's like nothing now.
That's like a high school degree or something, or a high school diploma, right? Yeah. And it's kind of crappy because, you put in a lot of time and effort and you struggle because you have to pay for it. Yeah. And then you go into the real world and it's like,
dude, you make something I keep thinking about is you don't know what they want. Some people are like, we want experience, right? And it's like, okay, I have 15 years of that. Other people are like, we want a degree. And I'm like, okay, well, I have that.
Yeah.
And then I've had several interviews. I've had multiple interviews from the same places. And you just can't gauge it. Some of them are like, oh, you're overly qualified. Mm-hmm. And then they'd hire someone fresh out of college. And
like, what does it even mean?
Yeah. Well, what is that? Like, are you serious? Like, I would have been totally fine. And they try to say like, oh, we're looking for someone that we can mold to ourselves. And it's like kind of a cop out. In my opinion, it's like, I would have been perfect. And it's like, if I applied to this, that means I wanted it. Yeah. But they're nervous and hesitant to go with someone that has that experience, and they'd rather go with someone that's fresh out of college. And it's like, hey, I have a degree as well, though. So if you're looking for someone with a degree, I hit that already.
Yeah.
But it's just wild.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? I mean, but that's just life. And then doing the interview process, and you've said this, it's like just draining, right? Because you go day in, day out, applying to all these places, and you hit all the requirements. And for
Mhm.
reasons unknown, they don't extend the offer or whatever.
Yeah. So it's been about 4 weeks now, and I'm starting to get communication from the applications that I had sent in
Yeah.
a month ago, right? And sometimes it'd be in the middle of the night. It'd be like 4 a.m. and I'd finally get an email from a company, and it'd be like, "Hey, unfortunately, uh, they're like they'll gas you up and they're like, hey, we loved your experience, we love your resume. Unfortunately, we're going a different route." And it's like this is just some AI that has it because working my prior life, the way we would send out rejections or even acceptances is like AI based concept where it's like, hey, we're gonna deny them, but send it in 48 hours. Like it's so hands off and not human anymore. It's
Oh yeah.
wild. So I get these emails and I'm like, I just scan it really fast, and as soon as I see the word unfortunately, I'm like, oh, I'm done. And
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I'm numb to it now. I'll wake up every morning to a handful of them because
Mm-hmm.
every day I apply to tons of them. Like I probably applied to over 250 positions in the last month. So it's wild to see how every concept, every basically field, they're all the same. They all have the same type of layout or path or procedures that they do. So
Yeah. What did I say the other day? It's like every rejection is a redirection, right? It's
mhm.
just like, it's not meant for you. And if you're like faith-based, right? It's like maybe God's way of saying like this role wasn't for you. Like there's something better for you out there.
Yeah.
And it's like staying positive in that way helps because again, if you do land something, you make it what it is, right? Like in your last job,
Dude.
a lot of people think a certain way about like restaurants and the food industry, but it's like you're making a lot of money, and people don't realize that's like a real career path. If you go down that route, so it's really what you
Yeah.
make it. All right.
Yeah, 100%. And you kind of just touched on stuff that I'll bring up when we go to a little later in the podcast about peaks and valleys, highs and lows. And
Yeah.
we'll kind of touch on how that process has been going for me. So we'll kind of save that for a little later.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's kind of talk about application processes, resumes, just interviewing in general, right? So I kind
Yeah.
of take the lead a little bit just because I'm living that life right now. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're kind of luckily like you don't have to worry about
Fortunately.
that for right now,
Yeah.
which I thought I didn't have to either. I was very comfortable, and you just never know when anything can happen. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
And
crazy.
in quick tangent, because of that, it's kind of like eye opening that
Mhm.
things can change in an instance, right? Like
Yeah, snap a
it,
finger.
one day you're like solid, you have good career, right? You're doing all these extra things, side hustles, as you will, if you will.
Yeah,
And then the next day, that could happen, and then now you're looking for a job, and then unfortunately, with like today's job market and stuff, like you're competing against not only people but AI now because companies might be shifting their idea or
yeah,
direction to like, hey, we don't need this position. We can just do like an AI model or something like that. But because of your situation, it's kind of been eye opening to me. And I told Sylvia, I'm like, man, like, what would I do if I lost my job? Because I'm lucky. I'm a very very lucky person, and you know you guys may not know my background, but I have an associate's. I don't have a bachelor's, right? So I'm not highly educated. I have an associate's
in
degree.
terms of education.
In terms of, yeah, like
Yeah,
if you measure that off of like the traditional,
yeah,
academics, whatever establishment, but what if I were to go into the job market, I would not be competitive in like the job market field because they'll be looking at people, especially in my
dude.
work, they're looking for engineers, they're
Yeah.
looking for MBAs, they're looking for people with BAs, and I don't have any of that. And
Mhm.
so talking to Sylvia is like, hey, we need to practice because tomorrow I could wake up and they'd be like, we don't need you anymore. Like your position is, you know, I don't know, redundant. Sometimes I feel like they might say that to me one day. And I need to be better. And so, looking at you, and there's someone who I work with, I'm not going to say his name, but he's really inspirational because he's at the top of the ladder, right? He's at the top of the ladder, and he decided to go back to school to get his MBA. Like, in what world? Like, he's making plenty of money, right? I would assume. And he's really the highest you can get in like our business.
Yeah.
And he himself was like, you know what? I got to go back, get my MBA. And he did it, I think, for his family to make himself more competitive because, we're at this work.
That's why I'm going back.
Yeah. We're at this work, but he may not want to stay there, or they might not need him. Right. And they say, you know what? You're no longer serving a purpose for us, and they'll part ways. And so like now he took it upon himself to be better. So, it's definitely crazy and eye opening, but go ahead. Sorry. It was a quick tangent.
No, yeah. You kind of bring up an interesting topic. Like I mentioned that sometimes people will be like, oh, you're overqualified, right? And I'm at this weird point where it's like, I'm definitely not entry level. I'm also probably not director level, right? But you're getting so much competition that you're getting these direct level people kind of go into those middle range jobs. And remember that resume I showed you last week of our former FISIG?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like that's who I'm competing with. And his resume was bonkers.
Dude,
like,
ridiculous.
Yeah, obviously we're not going to say names and everything like that, but like
who is that guy? It's like fucking Einstein or something, like
some prodigy.
Yeah.
And he's like, here, use my resume to lay out how yours should look. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude.
I don't have enough information to put on my resume.
You look at that guy's resume and you're like, dude, that could be the president.
Yeah.
Probably smarter than the president.
Right? Dude, ridiculous. Definitely ridiculous.
Yeah. But so I've made a generic resume, right? But every position that I apply to, I will cater the resume to meet that position, and then as well as a cover letter to meet that position. And we send both out. And you kind of touched on we're competing with AI now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go to these jobs and you go to the career site, and the first thing that pops up is like Olivia, some AI assistant, right? And to apply, you have to just chat with her and answer questions first. And that's happening on a lot of different companies. So like even their HR and their recruiting department, like, cause that's kind of the field I am. It's sociology. It's like, those are kind of going away too. They're vetting you through AI before you even get a chance. So it's like, you have to answer it a specific way in order to even talk to a human.
And it's kind of crappy too, because like, as we progress with AI, that AI might just have bullet pointed requirements, and that could determine whether you get past the next level or not, right? It just like, do you meet these requirements? And if you don't meet one, regret. You know what I mean? Like immediately without actually knowing the person.
You know what's interesting? I wonder what the legality of that's going to be in the future, because there's a lot of companies that they always say, like they always ask like, what's your race? What's your sexual orientation?
They ask that?
Yeah, they ask, like, especially when the government feels, or like I've applied to like so many different things. They ask so many questions, and it's like they're not allowed to, answer, like they're not allowed to deny you for certain things, right? Yeah. But these AIs are asking that, and it's like, what's that going to look like in the future, right? Like I'm sure there's going to be something, like I'm calling it now.
Yeah, I think in today's political climate, though, DI was kind of done away with.
Yeah.
So it's like they technically, I think they can ask those questions now, and
they can ask.
That's why you're seeing that. Yeah. Obviously, there's no way to prove that they're discriminating against. Mm-hmm. That's more of like over time, like that they refuse.
That's me thinking like, all right, when there's a new regime, how's that going to look? As soon as it goes back to blue. Yeah. What's going to happen in the future?
Yeah, we're kind of screwed either way, right? Like it's just we don't really know what's going on. I don't even know what to say, right? Yeah. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of sticking on track. I make resumes specific to positions, right? Mm-hmm. I've made cover letters specific to the positions. The hard part is just even getting callbacks. Like I mentioned 4 weeks ago, I'm starting to finally see the fruits of that.
Yeah.
And I think I was in a really bad spot. You could probably say where I'll wake up in the morning and I'm just glued to my computer. And then my wife gets home from work and I'm still glued to the computer. And then she's like forcing me to go to bed. And it's like, let me just apply to a couple more, right? And I'm just like in this thing, like in this weird zone.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not like, I feel like I'm not being productive because like all I did was sit at a computer all day and like apply to positions. I'm not making money. I'm not doing anything. I'm not working out. I'm not leaving the house. So it's definitely unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like, okay, I'm doing what I can. I did apply to places and it just gets you in this weird funk. So kind of like if I was to give any advice, it's like, hey, yes, apply to places and don't be discouraged. I know like if you get let go of your job unexpectedly, you're going to have that urge to, I need to find something right away. Right. But in this climate, you're not really going to be hearing stuff right away.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get lucky and you have connections in certain places.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like if I could redo the last 4 weeks, I probably would still apply like crazy like I did, but I definitely try to find a balance and know like, hey, it's going to be all right. I know we kind of touched on this last episode where I was like, people are going to tell me, hey, it's going to be all right in the future.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I need something right now. I need that instant gratification to say the least.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. Obviously, you want to rant about it. You don't like it in the moment.
Yeah.
But like, try to find a balance. Like, hey, it's not healthy to just be that little bubble. Like you need to get outside. You need to change it up or else you're just going to be eating alive at yourself. And I was definitely doing that and felt like I was in a bad place.
And you're just doing it to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like there's really nothing you can do. And it's not you. It's not you as the applicant. It's just the job market and it's who's applying, right? Like you're competing against 100 people. It's like the lottery, right? It's like out of the 100 people, 50 people did well. And of those 50 people, you know, like they start narrowing it down. It's like,
and you know what's interesting? We're talking about AI and it's like, I'll just be upfront. Like AI is helping me with my resume and my cover letter every time. And I was thinking about this the other day because I saw someone on LinkedIn write a little message about how she's a hiring manager and she saw like 20 applications come in. They all look exactly the same. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, is AI just making like, how does AI make it unique to yourself, right? Like there is the GBTs of like humanize, but at what point is it to where how many people are doing the humanize also?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, someone's probably seen some resume and they're like, this is exactly the same. But one says Justin, one says Carlos, one says
with the same
Jim.
words and everything, right?
And I'm like, what the hell?
Dude, I told you.
What the hell?
The other
what
day.
The hell, Leonte?
When you were over, I was like, you gotta make yourself different. Maybe freaking have a website as a resume or like a portfolio with your rental properties and like just like because everybody's using AI, everybody uses chat, you know. So it's like, how do you put your own twist on it? And it's, I think that's the uniqueness of like the person who applies, right? It's like who's going to be unique enough to
I get that part.
get out.
And then it's like, but you also have to like you have to do something to get past that initial acceptance for someone to even look at that website. So it's like if I had a link in my resume to my website, I need to get someone to even look at the resume in detail to get to the link. We're having these AIs just kind of sort through them. They're probably going to see some link and they might flag it. In my opinion, I'm like, they might be like, oh, this is weird. Cancel.
And that goes back to the job market because you're like these recruiters or hiring managers, they have like 100, 200 applicants and they're just like skimming requirements, just hit yes, no. And they're like, boom, 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 boom. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Right. And whether or not they really push it to like the next manager. But quickly, just like some facts, hiring is slowing down. I'm reading this off of ChatGPT. 1 in 5 employees cutting hiring in Q2 of 2025. I don't know exactly what that means. does that mean only 1 in 5 employees are getting hired, or does that mean they're
1 in 5 employees are cutting. So basically, if you have 5 different companies, one of those is is like no longer hiring.
I was reading that wrong. 1 in 5 employers are cutting hiring in Q2 of 2025.
Yeah. So that's like 20% of the job market is no longer hiring.
Yeah, that's
a big chunk.
Yeah.
Think about it. Yeah. Does it say anything about like how many people are laying off? Yeah, layoffs right there.
Where does it say?
Layoffs. You have 1% of the job market in August alone. Is that what it says right here? August 2025.
Snapshot of August.
1% of the job market is laying people off.
Oh yeah.
That's 170.7 million workers laid off in August. That's fucking wild. I hope I'm reading that wrong.
No, I think you're reading that wrong.
Dude, I hope I'm reading that wrong. That's very disheartening.
I think, to say the least, right? There's just not enough jobs that are paying good wages, and all the jobs that are out there aren't paying enough to really live in today's society, and let alone Southern California, where we're at, you know?
Dude, I'm finding jobs that I would love. Like, I'm like, that would be a dream job. Really low applicants. And I look and it's like Indiana, Tennessee. And I'm like, Carmen, please. Like, we could create a life for ourselves that we've never dreamed of if we just took a risk. But at the same time, I'm not going to be someone that moves for work, especially after this situation where it's like 20 years with a company and one day could be like, you're good.
They'll always be like that, though.
Yeah.
No matter what.
But I'm like, hey, if we lived in Dallas or even the outskirts of Dallas, how much our house is right now, we sell that house. I tell you, dude, we could probably buy a house out there, no longer have a house payment, and have some cash in our pocket, and like the house itself is going to have some land.
Yeah. I think that's great for you guys, because it's like you just have friends. You don't have like immediate family here. I tell Sylvia all the time, let's move to Nevada. My company's in Nevada. My company's in Arizona. And it's like, no, because we got like the parents here and stuff. Even NorCal, we've talked about moving to NorCal, and only way we'd move is like if you guys were up there with us, you know. It's like we need to know people, especially because we have a kid now, so we need like a village, right? And so
it could be the move.
Yeah. Anyways,
we got blessed with Carmen's job, like,
dude,
working for the county. Her benefits are amazing, so she's like, I'm good. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm like, let's see if we could transfer up to NorCal.
Yeah.
I think if she could transfer, she'd do it in a heartbeat, because that's where her family is.
Maybe. Carmen's a little weird, though.
Hey.
She don't, you know, and I applaud her for being kind of independent and not wanting to write the coattail of her like family or anything like that. She's just writing, you know, whatever she can get. She's with you. You guys built your own life. Yeah. And like, that's just you guys being, you know, strong. Right, because a lot of people out there struggle. You know, I don't know how many people out there who it's just a one income family. You know, you have multiple kids. You don't own your house, which I guarantee you that's like 80% of like the population, probably even more. Right, and so someone said something. I think you said it. I don't know. It's like if you have less than $5,000 of debt, you're ahead of 80% of the population, because everybody's in debt. No one can afford anything, right? And so,
dude, I'm in $320,000 worth of debt, but that's because that's what I own the house.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's good debt. But anyways,
I think this is a good time to wrap it up, and we could come back and actually talk about some positives and based on peaks and valleys. This kind of is a good blend to it.
Yeah, dude, we're doing our best to keep our podcast under 30, but that
just start talking.
Yeah, we're just rambling and talking to people. But to wrap this up, you know, if anybody out there is also experiencing this job market, you know, drop it in the comments. Let us know, because, you know, obviously Justin he's feeling that. He's feeling the pressure. And, you know, we're curious to see how everybody else is.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, yeah.
Cool.
Let's go on a break.
Back.
Let's do it. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum.
You know what we didn't do? We didn't clap. Number two. Number
All
three.
right, it's recording on here. This is the most important thing. Is making sure that this is recording because we can get away with, anything else, but we can't get away with like subpar audio, which this room doesn't do well with acoustics and stuff like that. So
You gotta put some phone on the walls.
dude, it's just how much money we keep throwing at it.
You have any pillows? I have some pillows at home. We could throw some pillows on the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah, I said pillow. All right, I got an accent.
Yeah. Anyways, we're back from our break and
Ready,
break.
Yeah.
And I mean, the last segment was really cool and just talking about the job market and all that. And again, to the audience, talk to us about your experience out there. But this segment really is our peaks and lows of the week.
What do you call it? Rose and a thorn. Sword and a stone.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll let you take it away. I think you're definitely, having some big
I've had some peaks and I've had some lows this week, man.
Yeah.
It's going to actually bleed straight into what we talked about in the first topic. Job market's crazy. I've had a few lows this week, specifically just job hunting and then being declined a few positions. It's like, we'll talk about one specifically where talked to somebody on the phone twice, went in person, drove an hour to get there. I thought the interview went really well. It's kind of led to the overqualification of it.
Mind you, and you fit this role to a T.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like my bread and butter.
this is your bread and butter. Yeah.
So that was last Wednesday, huh?
Mm.
Yeah, that was last Wednesday. The recruiter for this company reached out to me yesterday at noon, and I'm just going to read it verbatim. I'll take out the company though. Hey there, I was able to connect with blank. He said he didn't feel confident about bringing you onto this company because you seemed uncertain about where you want to land in the future. Sorry, friend. So then I texted her back, basically saying like, bummer, thanks for letting me know. I really appreciate you passing along the information. Honestly, I felt the conversation was heading in a positive direction. So I'd love to better understand his perspective. Did this individual share any specific feedback that might help me improve moving forward? When he asked about my goals, I shared that I'm always looking for growth and I would always like to move up. I'm a little surprised that translated to uncertainty.
Yeah.
And she never responded. That was a low.
Yeah, that's insane.
It felt like a blow because that was like, hey, this was literally something I could do in my sleep.
Yeah.
But also it's like I applied here knowing damn well what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't waste my time driving an hour for something that I wasn't uncertain for.
It's like you have 15 years in that industry and you've done every position possible.
Yeah. Also, another low that kind of stems from that is like, I hate how recruiters just ghost you. They don't give you an explanation. They don't say that. They're like, we don't owe you anything.
Well,
we have 100 other people that applied. I don't need to waste my time. Right.
Yeah.
But that's the low. Let's talk about the high.
All right, let's do it.
Your boy is back in the game.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we're doing, dude.
It's very positive.
Oh, there we go.
Uh-huh.
I'm back in the game.
Yeah.
So the high would be I accepted a job yesterday. Pretty dope job. It's gonna be a union. It's gonna be a labor federation.
Yep.
So I get all the perks that come with that.
Yeah.
The pay may not be what I was making at my prior, but hey, not food related. I get to grow my career. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be in Orange County all the time.
Hell yeah.
So, I'm pretty dope. Pretty excited about that. That's pretty amazing. And you know what? To all the recruiters that ghosted me, it's like, hey, you missed out on a guy.
Yeah. Dude, I'm super stoked for you. I think that, put away wage. This is a great opportunity to network. I'm closely tied, to this. And it's like, I think it is what you make it. And I told you this. It's like, you're going to kill it. I really do think you're going to kill it. And, this is a stepping stone if you continue down that path, right? And so,
you know what?
I think you're going to kill it.
I think we might have talked about this in the future. Like, in the past where it was like, I really want to go into politics and I want to run for city council. And it's like, we have so much homeless in my little area. And that's what I wanted to do. And like this position situates me in a great spot to connect and learn and possibly do that in the future.
100%.
So I'm looking at this like, it's like, this is pretty an amazing and unique situation to be in.
When you start running for like city council or mayor one day, I can be your media manager. All of them have media managers.
Dude, you don't even need to be my media manager. You could be like, I'll just let you make the title. Whatever you want to be.
Dude, honestly, you're going to do great. And I think it's kind of in lines even with your degree, you know, it's like working with people and you wanted to work with people. And this kind of puts you in a situation where you're not only working with the older generation of individuals, but you can start volunteering with like younger kids or
all walks of life,
even like foster youth. You want to get in there.
I'm excited. Like this is literally what I went to school for. And you know what? No hard feelings to my past. They obviously set me up for where I'm at. I was able to get a house. I was able to start a life. And they kind of just pushed me into the pool. Like I wasn't happy there for a while. And I was just content and comfortable. And it's like, they were like, hey, it's time for you to grow. And they kind of did that for me. And to that, I will say thank you. For the rest of it, though, we don't need to worry about it.
Dude, that's a big win, though. Yeah. Like, when you told me, I was just like ecstatic. I was just like, he freaking
dude,
got
let me get another. Dude, I'm hyped.
Yeah, dude, I'm just happy for you. And, you know, it's not only good for your pockets, right? Because you got a job, but it's good for your mental.
Up.
Yeah, it's
literally and figuratively, bro, because I can't sleep anymore.
yeah, dude, I'm excited. And maybe, I got to get in there too, man. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. All right, I'll go into my highs and lows. I'll go into the low because I don't know if I will consider it a low, but it is a low. Yeah. You know, we're extremely tired. We have our newborn. We're in the trenches, Sylvia and I. I am so happy I chose Sylvia as my partner. I knew, what's that meter? I knew you would be my best friend. Or what's that?
Oh, toe meter.
Toe meter, yeah.
I don't know exactly the word, but
I knew I was right.
About what?
You being my best
You're
friend.
my best friend.
Yeah. Dude, Sylvia is a champ and she's been really helping. But my low is just we're so exhausted. I can see it in Sylvia's face. Camilo is getting even more fidgety and he's getting louder and he's crying more. And it's just he's becoming inconsolable almost, right? Just because he's getting bigger. He's eating more. He's pooping more. He's peeing more. He's grunting at night and we can't sleep. So it's really been the low because then our tempers get really short, right? Because then it's like
you need that 5 minutes.
Yeah, we become less impatient.
I'm excited. I'm excited about next episode's non-negotiables.
Dude, yes. That's going to be a fun one. Yeah. But that's my low, just typical parent newborn issues. And it's just, we're just trying to get through it, and Sylvia and we talked about having another baby and it's like, I'm not there and she definitely is there. And I'm just like,
dude,
no.
What?
Yeah, dude, it's a different conversation, but maybe for our next episode, but like, I can't do it. Not right now. I made it very clear. It's like, let's just get through the first one. But my high is not that exciting either, but
it's exciting. Hey, it's exciting for you. So it's exciting for you.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. So I picked up reading again and between July and August, I've read 5 books. And honestly, that's really solid.
Read them, not Audible I do. I cheat.
Yeah. I literally have the physical copy and I read them. One of them was a dad book. One of them was like a love book. It's called 5 Feet Apart. Yeah. Then I read Thug Life, which is a great book. Currently reading Twilight, which is I'm basically done with that one. What other one did I read?
I think it was The Hate You Give.
Oh,
you had mentioned it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, The Hate You Give. Yeah, that was a great one too. But anyways, The Alchemist is the other one. I read through The Alchemist.
You, you kind of mentioned it where it was like, or earlier you were like, you didn't like reading when you were in school because you had to read what they wanted to read, right?
Yeah,
And The Alchemist was one of those for me where it's like, now that I'm older, I might enjoy the book. But
Yep.
when I was like younger, it's like they made you read it and you had to do it on their order. And it's like,
yeah.
so maybe I should try, maybe I should give it a shot again.
Yeah, I have it right there. It's my little library. So that's my high. I picked up reading, and I'm getting into like fiction books, and I'm really enjoying it. And
Dude.
like, there's this new love for it. You
Can I
know?
make a request?
Yeah.
Can you start Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Because I want someone to talk to and geek out about.
Yeah.
Dude, my TikTok is all Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter.
And I think I'm gonna restart the series again, like reading. Not the movie. Like Carmen and I watch the movies like in order every year during the holidays. That's just what we do.
So cozy.
Yeah, it's nice. Like you just, yeah, dude, you just lay on the
It's a
couch,
vibe. Yeah.
get some snacks and some coffee, and you watch it. I think we usually like sometimes we've gone just marathons. Sometimes it's like we'll do one a night. Either way, we do it every year. But I recently read every book. Well, audibled every book.
You audibled every book?
Mhm.
Dang.
Yeah, I did all of it.
And
And
put
just
in
because
some time.
it was, yeah, because I was driving all the time for work, so
Yeah.
it was not. Well, I'm going to be driving all the time right now too, so I might restart it. But I want to buy the books and have them because I want to read them to my baby.
Dude,
that's gonna be like a nightly thing.
I'm gonna put you on some game if you didn't know. They sell the Harry Potter books in an illustrated version. So it's like a comic book. Yeah, dude.
Checking it right now.
Sylvia and I are gonna buy that. Yeah.
Dude.
It's actually really cool. They go all the way up to the 5th book, I think. But the illustrator who did the first, I think, 5 books, he didn't want to finish the 6th and 7th book. So there's another illustrator who's doing the 6th and 7th, and it's coming out soon.
Yeah, I think I actually heard about that. But that's what I'm gonna get. I
Dude.
freaking love them.
Yeah.
And everyone's all mad about the HBO one, and I get that everyone's mad that they want to like keep it how it was, and they rather stem and make new shows. But it's HBO we're talking about. They're gonna start with Harry Potter, what we're used to, and then they're gonna make spin-offs. Like we're gonna get the Marauders, we're gonna get different families. Like we'll get stuff. I am very confident that's gonna happen. And I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I love that world. Like I love it so much.
Dude, Universals is my shit.
So that's my high, you know, and I'm super excited, you know. It's good for the brain, it's good for the vocabulary. And now when my kid is older, he can't say that I didn't read those books, right? Exactly.
$160. Hey, 3 days ago, I would have been like, dude, I'm poor, I can't. Today, I might splurge.
I'm waiting to get the whole collection. So I want 1 through 7 illustrated.
Do we know when they're going to come out?
I think I read was going to be like end of 2025 or releasing 2026 or something. But literally, you can go to Target or Barnes and Noble. They have it, and it literally every page is illustrated, and it's the whole book. It's like,
dude, that book must be like thick.
No, it's not thick. That's why I was tripping. I told Sylvia, I was like, is this the whole story or is it like paraphrased or something, right?
Yeah.
So we flipped to the last page, compare it to like the actual book, and it ends the same. So it's like still word for word.
Ooh.
But the books are bigger. They're like
you
this
said
big.
it's comic version, right? So I'm assuming it's going to be a picture and like someone talks.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like illustrated, and then it has like big paragraphs and stuff. But,
for sure, dude. I'm excited for that. That's awesome wins.
Yeah.
Your low is like something we're gonna have to work on because I'm right there with you. So
you're gonna be there.
Whatever type of advice you got to get through that low, I'll take it.
Honestly, at this point, I don't know what advice to give.
There's
myself,
nothing to give.
Right?
It's just like, hey, you just need to know it's gonna happen, and like, hey, it's just you gotta get through the mud. You like.
That's what Sylvia keeps telling me.
It's the suck. You have to get through the suck. It's going to happen.
That's what she keeps telling me. She's like, it's the trenches. Like, this is expected. You just have to get through it. We can get through it.
We're in Vietnam right now. It's this trench warfare.
I shouldn't even be complaining. Sylvia, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know. I feel like a little freaking, but.
She hasn't seen daylight in 40 days.
Dude, the other day, she was like
complaining.
Oh my gosh.
The horse is horsing around.
Dude, the horse is mad. He's mad right now.
We need to... he might mess everything up, but we need him to be a guest appearance one day.
Yeah, but great freaking highs and lows. I'm just super stoked for you. I love that you're able to get somewhere. And honestly, I really think it fits you. I think you're going to make it what it is. And then I think if you stay in that field, right, you're going to go a long way like you always do, right? It's just kind of taking that time to build it.
Yeah.
But kind of just moving on to the next thing is
Dude,
like
I'm
really
excited for this.
yeah.
Take it away.
It's like it's just this is something that we've been working on. It's been like several months now.
This is kind of where this whole podcast originated.
Yeah.
This was our main thing, and we decided to make a podcast
Yeah.
out of this.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of, if you know us, we're kind of like all over the place. I think we're very sporadic, and I tell you this all the time. It's like we're gonna put in the effort and the time. Like, let's really do it. And again,
that's why episode 4 is so crazy, because it's like we made it 4 episodes already.
I know.
And it's kind of like that thing where it's like if you could do something for 21 days, it's a habit.
You start building a habit. Yeah,
and it's like, all right, I think we have a habit.
And it's a good thing because we're really working at it. We invested the money, right? We got these pods or these mics and the Rodecaster, but it's something we've been working on. And initially, we started a business. It's called Parent Project, right? Mm-hmm. And initially it was like we wanted to make dad hats and even mom hats, really, because we wanted to go in like many different directions and be super inclusive, right? And
it stemmed from like you'd see these girl dad or girl mom or boy mom, but you never saw a hat that said boy dad. Yeah. So we were like, let's make hats that did that.
Yeah, and like put our own twist on it too, right? Like, because then you kind of see like these cheesy hats out there, like mass-produced hats, right? They're just kind of like generic in the grocery stores or whatever that say like boy dad weird. But we wanted to put our own twist on it, and so like these are the hats that we've been wearing. So we've been wearing this since our first episode. We've been working on creating hats and trying to refine our logo, and like there's many trials and errors like building this hat. Believe it or not, like it should be pretty simple, but we
want to make sure it's great product, and it's like we pay for a sample that may not be what we want, so it's like we have to send it back and go back and forth, and we think we're finally at a point where it's like, hey, we could start.
Yeah, and then even then we're like constant reiterations. Constant reiteration. So our company's called Parent Project. We made these hats. It's super cool. It says boy dad there, but it'll also say girl dad. It'll also say girl mom, boy mom, right? And on the side it says raising the future, because that's really what we're doing. And I think as this journey goes on, we're going to kind of create this business to kind of give back to parents, right? And it's not about us, like it's about like how we both became parents. We're having children. We're going through like the trials and errors of like the pregnancy and bringing the baby home, right? And there's also parents out there who may be struggling. And so as we create these hats and we put these up for sale, because that's our intention, right, to sell, we want to put a certain percentage of like whatever the profit is and give it back to those parents who either one, they made a purchase of the hat. Maybe that's like a requirement, right? It's like, hey, they did buy a hat, but also have them submit some sort of like survey to us where we are able to take whatever percentage of that profit of the hat and give back to that lucky parent that quarter or that half a year. I don't know how often we'll do it. Oh shit. But super excited. We put in a lot of effort into creating this hat, and it's really for you guys, right? Like, again, we want to give back as much as you guys are giving to us, and one day, hopefully,
the dream would be like we get to a point where people could come to us and say, hey, I have this issue or I need this, and we have the funds put aside or the support from the community to fix whatever that issue is, and maybe we're able to do that all the time, or maybe people start coming to us daily, or maybe we might start with it's like, hey, once a quarter, once every 6 months, once every year, or something. We actually have the funds put aside to help you. But like in the future, I'm looking at this as kind of like what my job is now, and like my degree, and it's like I wanted to be a social worker. I wanted to create a nonprofit to support individuals, and I think where we're at is awesome. And if we could have a platform to support families in need, it'd be kind of awesome.
Yeah, and again, it's just we're new to this, right? We're learning. We're trying to do our best as people, as dads, as a parent, right? Like we're we're learning, we're different phases of our life, applying to jobs, becoming a new parent, like and I've said this in other episodes, it's like we're normal guys, you know what I mean? It's like we're not like
just regular guys.
yeah, we're not wealthy by any means, right? I think we have a dream, we have a goal, right? And we want to provide for our families just as much as you do, but also we want to make sure we do good in this world. There's a quote that I'm trying to remember, but it's like I just want to be remembered for doing as much good as possible when I leave this world, right? So like if I died tomorrow, like I would hope people would say it's like, man, he yeah, knock on wood, he gave back a lot. Even if he didn't have anything, right? Like even though I don't have much, and I don't have a whole ton of money, right? It's like I was able to at least give back to a community of people who are just trying to do their best every day, and raising a family, and that's where we're at right now in our life.
100%.
Anyways, so yeah, guys, eventually you'll see this start popping up on all our socials. We're gonna start putting up a website for you guys to go check them out.
He heard us knocking.
That's my horse. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for the interruption, but
I started laughing because I heard him do the small bark, and I was like, "Oh, it's coming!
Here we go!
Like this is about the time we wrap this up." Because Zuko's like, "Hey,
yeah." Anyways, we're going to start putting it on our socials. There's going to be a link to our website, on our TikTok, on our Instagram. Yeah. There's a link to our YouTube. So please subscribe to us, right? Like us, and check out the hat, and, this is the first edition, but there's many more editions to come. And,
this is the flagship when we already have more ideas in our head, and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, definitely. Let's just go to the final takeaways and, wrap up the episode here.
Yeah, so I would say my final takeaway is like, hey, when you're going through the suck or the trenches, so to speak, you just be persistent and just know like, hey, you'll get through it. Lean on your support system. And dude, Zuko just ruined my concentration.
I know.
He's just banging on the door.
But
anyways,
gosh,
when you go through the suck, lean on your support system. Know it's going to happen. Like, know everything is going to get better in the long run. I know I kind of ranted about that last episode, but it is true. In the moment, you don't want to hear it, but just know, like, eventually the light comes at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm an example of that. It's like, hey, in the same day, I was rejected for like the umpteenth time.
Yeah.
But I also got offered a position, and it's like things happen for a reason. That job that I got rejected for was in the industry I was already in. The job that I got hired for is an industry that I always felt in my heart I wanted to do. So it's like things happen for a reason. So that'd be my key takeaway.
Yeah, I think it's important to just remember that you're not alone and just keep pushing forward, right?
Yeah.
And it's easy to feel like you're by yourself. And and to all our listeners out there, you may feel like you're by yourself. Maybe you don't have any family that's close by, or you feel like it's just you on your own, kind of struggling day to day, but just know that there's people out there who are willing to help you. That's why we started this podcast, because it's like we're aware that people have done this. People have been parents from the beginning of time, right? And so I started my TikTok because I really was like asking advice to people out there, and a whole ton of dads came out and said like all their piece, right? Like gave me tons of advice. And if we can get a collective of people together, that would be awesome. And again, going back to our parent project business, wanting to give back is super important. My final takeaways is maybe a little bit more for you is just be persistent like you are, be resilient like you are. We weren't given a silver spoon, right? I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. On my TikTok, Instagram the other day, I posted where we grew up. I don't know if you remember that. Like, literally took a walk down memory lane. It's 8 of us in a 1-bedroom apartment in like the trenches of Santa Ana, and it's like where we were and where we're at now. It's like completely different. And thinking about my dad, being a person that he was the only one bringing in the money. My mom's kind of basically a stay-at-home mom, and at times she would work, try to pick up a part-time job here and there. But with 6 kids, right, it's kind of like impossible to maintain. I just remember my dad going to work, super early in the morning, and then he would get home and my mom would go to work. So it's like we never really had both parents in one spot, but eventually things got easier. And it's just, I know that if my dad can do it, with not really knowing English or learning English as he's going through his career, and, you know, just putting in extremely hard work to get where he's at today, we can do it, right? And
For
looking
sure.
at you, it's like you have all of the work ethic in you to get to that point. It's just now it's just battling, right? It's like how do we get to that point again?
Yep.
And I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful to know you, man. So it's just know that we're here for you. I'm here for you. It's like seeing you more now than ever before.
Even when you lived with me,
Yeah.
I think I've seen you more now than when you lived, because I was never home, actually. I was always traveling.
Yeah. So we lived with each other for a little bit, but that's a different topic for another day that we can rant on. But
Yeah.
again, thank you guys for listening. This is the Daddish podcast. That was my final takeaways.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, make sure you go like, follow, subscribe, comment, engage with us. Yeah, do all of it.
I'm doing this like I might, like something's going to be here. Who knows?
Yeah, we're really trying to build something for
Yeah.
you guys, right? But also for us, right? I'll be open and transparent. It's like, we want something big, and we want something that we can be proud of, and eventually do more good, than anything out there, because the world can always use some more good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Dash Podcast, episode 4. I love you guys,
Episode 4. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, dude, let's go. I love your high though. I'm still high from your high.
Yeah, I'm so excited for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for you. You're gonna be in Orange County now, and you can just come over whenever you want. We can, start being even more creative than we are now, and hopefully,
Yes, sir.
get busy. Yeah. Take advantage, because I think I go back to work on the 8th. So is this my last week?
Yeah. Well, you have one more week. Next week is your last week.
Next week is my last week, guys.
Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, I don't know the rest of the song. But anyways,
I'm nervous for that.
it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right.
See
See
ya.
y'all next week, or whenever the next episode is.
Peace.
Boop, boop, boop.
That was basically an hour podcast.